It's a relief to see you all made it back in one piece.
Huh? Feels like there's quite a few people missing. Where's Flint's and the others? And what about Nefer?
I returned ahead of them. Flint is helping Aino and Anefa to set up the decoys and buy us some time. As for Miss Nefer...
Boss is still wrapping things up on her end. She sent us back to fill you all in on the top secret intel we've been gathering.
I see. Then let's get right into it. But first, who do we have here? You brought someone else in to help?
Greetings. I was invited here to help as a longtime Tea Party companion of Columbina's. You may call me Arlecchino.
Surely it can't be.
Those eyes. Oh, where have I seen them before? Wait, of course. In those memories we just saw.
The only Arlecchino I know is the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers. So either you share a pretty uncommon name, or you're more than just a Tea Party buddy.
You're well informed, Grandmaster. A man from Mondstadt living all the way out here in Nodcry, and yet the people and affairs of Snezhnaya seem to hold a special place in your heart.
Oh, the feeling's mutual. Sounds like you know all about who I am, too.
A Fatui Harbinger.
The atmosphere in here just got really tense. Guess we can't just start trusting Fatui Harbingers, even at a time like this.
I must admit, though, I'm a little curious. Seeing as the Moon Goddess no longer belongs to the Fatui, what makes you so willing to put your neck on the line here?
Nor does Nodcry belong to Mondstadt, Mr. Varka. Yet still, you're fighting for it all the same. Things don't always have to have a tangible payoff. Sometimes, stopping things from spiraling out of control is a higher priority than chasing the spoils of victory. Of course, I can't say there's nothing in it for me at all. But that's between Columbina and myself.
Forgive me. I don't mean to doubt you. It's just that the Fatui really have been the source of many... We have our own way of doing things here in Nodcry. But ever since they arrived, the Fatui have treated us...
I know there's been a lot of bad blood between us in the past. I've done my utmost to avoid friction whenever I could. But sometimes fundamental conflicts of interest simply can't be settled amicably. That's why I'm here solely in a personal capacity. This has nothing to do with the Fatui. As a gesture of good faith, I'll be frank. I can help Columbina track down the iridescent moon's marrow, which will help her restore more of her power. Anyway, what else is on the agenda? Let's begin.
She says she'll be frank, then completely skips over the details. Looks like she doesn't want to give away too many secrets after all, but she clearly wants to change the subject. It'd be awkward if I tried to bring it up again now. I guess we'll just have to go along with it. She's the fourth of the Fatui Harbingers after all. One look and you can tell she's not someone you'd want to mess with.
Well, since Miss Arlecchino sounds confident in her ability to handle that, we'll proceed to the next topic. Yehuda, time to share that top-secret intel.
Alright, listen up everyone. First, we now know that Rerir was originally a Conrian secret agent whose primary mission was to hunt down and assassinate the so-called Dregs of the Crimson...
The Dregs of the Crimson Moon?
In the memories, there was a lot of talk about the Crimson Moon and Eclipse, and a whole bunch of other stuff from the time of
To my knowledge, those were the names of two different Conrian dynasties. Long, long ago, it is said that the people of Conria worshipped the Crimson Moon, drawing a mysterious power. But one day, a coup saw the Crimson Moon eclipsed, hence the name of the new dynasty that replaced it, and how it became the new emblem of Conria.
Still, long after the Crimson Moon dynasty had fallen, the last ruler of the Eclipse dynasty, the Vinster King, still coveted the secrets it left behind. In those days, Rerir showed no signs of madness. In fact, he was as normal as any other person. What's the matter?
Verfnir, Freundaughter, Flinders.
Interesting. Anything else? What about this would-be fiancée of his? Do we know anything about her?
Well, she was a researcher at the Universitas Magistrorum, but it felt like she was hiding some kind of...
Oh, and one more thing. For some reason, Rerir's fragment also contains some of Thelindis' memories, though only a very small portion.
Well, no shortage of potential leads, I'll give you that. In any case, it sounds like we can conclude that while Thelindis was still around, Rerir appeared to be lucid and quite normal. Thelindis, it seems, must have been the one thing in this world that he couldn't let go of. Tell me, though, were these pure-blood Conorians we're talking about here?
Why do you need to know that? Hold on. If she was a pure-blood Conrian... Oh yeah! Just like how it was with the captain!
If we could somehow find her, do you think there's any chance Rerir might regain some of his sanity?
It's possible, but it would take a miracle. We can't pin all our hopes on that. That merchant who Nefer knows, Dori Sangama Bay. Maybe we could hire her to look into it.
All right, then. Let's keep working in our separate Traveler, Paimon, Kutar, and Miss Arlecchino. We'll go look for the iridescent moon's marrow. As for the other...
On the way over here, I noticed that the Wild Hunt monsters had grown even more frenzied in their search for Kutar. At this rate, the people living here will be in grave danger too. So I'm thinking of gathering together some of our followers to go...
I'll head back to the curatorium.
Feels good knowing we've all got something to be getting on with. Given that the Wild Hunt has been a lot more active lately, the Lightkeepers have likely begun their own operations too. If that is the case, someone will need to pass the news on to Flint's. I'll hold the fort for now, then discuss our next move with Flint's, Aino, and Anefa when they get back.
Alright then.
Well, the clock's ticking. If that's everything, we'll be on our way.
We'd better get moving too. We'll try to buy you as much time as we can.
Relax. Just do your thing. Now, I decided to call in some backup since things are getting so hairy. Our reinforcements should be here any minute now. Stay safe, everyone. Dismissed.
We're back. Did we get here a little early?
A tad late. The others have already set off. To summarize, our resident moon goddess has found us a new ally. And Boss Nefer has uncovered some Everything going smoothly on your end?
Not great. I don't know how long we can stall them for. The decoys are getting taken out way faster than we imagined. I'm gonna make some more later, but I need a timeout first. I'm so tired right now. Oh, right! Inefa, could you fill in Uncle Varka on what we just discussed with Flint?
Sure, Uncle Varka. You previously told us about how when you went to investigate a source of the Wild Hunt in Amsvartnir, you discovered that it was just a diversion. But according to Flint's intel, several outbreaks of the Wild Hunt had already occurred in Notcry in the period leading up. That was before Rerir had regained his body, when he was far from regaining his full strength. In other words, in theory at least, he still lacked the means to act in two places at once.
Flynn's, with everything that's been happening, the Lightkeepers across Nodkraya, I know, I'm sure you're capable of coming up with something far more effective than decoys. But for now, you should stay here and get some rest. And Effa and I will head back over to Amsfartnir to see if there's anything...
Database updated.
What...
They were betting on how you'd respond after hearing their intel.
It's the obvious choices.
We already decided that someone needs to hang back and oversee our strategy meetings. And besides, you...
So I've ended up with the easiest...
Here, this will serve as a good spot to cross over.
Arlecchino, hold up a second! Since you brought us all this way, would you mind telling us what you've got planned? We still haven't got the slightest idea what's going on here. And if even Columbina doesn't know where the iridescent moon's marrow is, how do you?
Simple. Because I am an inheritor of the royal bloodline of the Crimson Moon. And one of the last surviving embers of the Two Worlds' flames.
Huh? Are you serious? Isn't you're a descendant of that Crimson Moon dynasty we were just talking about? The one from ancient Conria?
Your surprise is understandable. I was also taken aback when I first learned of it. But the more I thought about it, the more I realized. The signs. When I was young, I discovered I could wield a very special kind of fire. It coursed like blood through my veins, and smoldered away inside my nerves. What's more, whenever I experienced strong bursts of emotion or drew too deeply on this power, it was like some kind of presence within the fire would begin to gnaw away at me. Exactly. That is why my hands are like this, too. At first, I saw it only as a curse, but once I became a harbinger, the jester apprised me of the truth. Together with my own investigations, over the past few years, there are several things that I have gradually come to understand. For in truth, it is nothing more than the shattered remnants of the iridescent moon, fused with the abyss to prolong its lifespan. Since this blood flame was bestowed upon me by the Crimson Moon, it is a fusion of the iridescent moon's former power and the corruption of the abyss. You all understand the nature of the abyss well enough. I draw upon its power, and in return, it hungers for my soul.
If I recall correctly, you once told me that if the corruption ever made it to your heart, you'd become a completely different
Yes. And that's the reason I'm always careful not to push my power too far. It's essentially a never-ending tug of war.
नेपर नहीं बस फ्यूरिना मिला है.
Oh, sounds intense.
Anyway, the rest of my story can wait. Is there anything else about the Crimson Moon or the Iridescent Moon that you're...
Paimon has a question. So, the Crimson Moon that the Karians used to worship was actually the... Does that mean that the Karians were to the Crimson Moon as the Frost Moon Scions are to the...
So much of that history has been lost. We have no way of knowing exactly what they were like.
फ्यूरिना तो है ही तुम्हारे पास.
But I would suspect that the Conrians weren't as devout in their moon worship as it might appear. Later on, perhaps someone discovered a way to make direct contact with the Abyss. Or maybe there was some kind of ideological divide. Still, even with the dark sun looming high overhead, the Crimson Moon's glow never truly faded.
The first time we met, I sensed something familiar in your presence. When I looked at you, I felt I could see that mysterious red moon in the corner of my eye. In your flames, I saw its broken image, surrounded by a strange black aura.
Well, I appreciate that you kept it to yourself. Much about the Crimson Moon is still... Anyway, time is against us here, so if there's any other questions, they'll have to wait. I just want to make sure I've got one thing straight. In her letters, Sandrone mentioned that since you are unable to contain the iridescent moon's marrow yourself, you intend to leave it in my custody. Correct?
That's right. For now, it's the only way I can pay you back for your help. The iridescent moon is already part of who you are.
Deal. Then let's get started.
Get what started?
When I first became a Harbinger, the Jester gave me a book called Paranhari, also known as Leobranto Inamorato. You should be able to buy a copy next time you're in Fontaine. It's a love story set in the Crimson Moon era. But setting aside the tangled romances of its characters, it also records a few interesting details. In the Crimson Moon era, or so the story goes, there was an orphanage that received children from beyond the bounds of this world, and
Beyond the bounds of this world? For real? And what kind of induction ceremony?
The Crimson Moon sages looked beyond this world for beings with powers that surpassed the gods. But fearing they might lose control, they subjected these children to a process of refinement. They made these children crawl up a fireplace and kept asking them, "Have you died? Did you see it?" Until the adults embraced the children who passed the ritual. The book leaves much unsaid.
That explains why I can't sense the Crimson Moon's marrow in this world. It makes sense that it...
But there's no fireplace here. Do you see a chimney anywhere? Oh, are we supposed to build it ourselves?
That won't be necessary. The fireplace is purely symbolic. The key to the ritual is crossing the flames between two worlds. In other words, the flames that burn within me. Those burned away by such flames leave behind a kind of ghostly afterimage in the world. In the days of Conria, people believed they could be used to bridge the gap between the two worlds of life and death. In short, I can open a passage to that space for you. That's the easy part. The catch is I'll need to stay on this side to keep the passage open. So I won't be able to come with you. Once you're inside, you'll have to find your own way. Very well. Then I'll...
Traveler, spare me a little more moonlight if you would. I may need it. Thank you. I feel like I've recovered some of my strength now. It should be enough to move us across short distances and confront whatever dangers might await.
Mistress of the seven hues of ages past, great mother of the present, crimson-clad sovereign of the two realms, by fire severed, by fire renewed, I offer myself now and beseech your descent. One word of advice. As you're crossing over, no matter what voices you hear, do not answer.
Got it.
I sense a sinister gloom inside, but also the familiar light. I feel that I am about to meet an old friend who has changed beyond all recognition. All right, let's go.
The abyss? It's practically filled the entire place. What now?
What a tragic sight. Fragments of your broken body, seized by the abyss, and hung up aloft like mummified remains. Iridescent moon, was this truly what you wished for?
Careful. There's something spooky about this place. Feels like something is lurking in... Paimon's right behind you. Whatever you do, don't run off without her. By the way, Kalamina, didn't you tell us that the iridescent moon had shattered into pieces? The moon up there looks pretty whole to Paimon. How is that possible?
Stabilize! Silence!
Water comes in many flavors to the discerning palate. Mondstadt's water is crisp and pure, while water from Liyue has an enduring aftertaste. In Inazuma, the water possesses a depth of flavor unlike any other. Sumeru's water, meanwhile, has a rich and complex flavor profile, but it must be savored patiently to fully appreciate it. Melusines are beautiful creatures. They are the pride of Fontaine. Be sure to befriend them and cause them no harm.
just like I thought. It was only a facade.
Shine down! There is no escape!
Hey!
Bow your head.
I will have order.
Huh? Huh? For real?
No. It's coming from under the mountain.
Let's see. Ah! There's some kind of weird... Wait, see that? Looks like a mechanism of some sort. Looks like a device from the time of Karia. Maybe people once came here to study the Crimson Moon's domain, and they left this behind. Oh, if we could activate it, we might find some clues. Look at that! Now that the mechanism's running... Do you think these mechanisms might be the key to unlocking the secret?
Felindis, we'll leave the rest of the research in your hands. We'll be heading back now.
I hope this isn't ruining date night.
Ugh. Mind your own business. Just leave me some snacks on the table.
Felindis? Is that Rear's girlfriend? How come we're hearing her voice here? Oh yeah! So, do you think she was studying this strange space all along?
The Abyss has made this space extremely unstable. Maybe that's why some of the things she said and did were preserved here. Like echoes.
Whenever I see this view, it takes me back to a poem from my childhood. Waning moon, oh lifeless damsel, weeping on the mountain crest. Mourning still in wistful tone, her fragile soul now laid to rest. For me, of all people, to be here investigating the mysteries of the Crimson Moon space. Is it a coincidence? Or something more?
Gather!
Shine down!
Everyone hold hands! I see everything! Yeah! Oh, looks like the Abyss has messed up this mechanism. We need to find a way to get it working again. Let's see if there are any other devices nearby.
Solidified!
There is no escape! Torn to oblivion!
I see. So the moon marrow, or rather the power of the 3 moons, is the key to unlocking... If it really does exist, then maybe this madness can finally be put to an end.
Gather!
With the Abyss inhibitors in place, I should be able to access the chamber. Oh, Rerir. With every step you take, you're drifting further from what you truly desire. But you're not the root of the problem. Ever since that outsider set foot in Conria, the Vinster King has sunken deeper. If only I could get my hands on that outside.
Hey, look! The moon's reflection is back to normal! Elendis' voice mentioned a chamber with the moon marrow. Do you think maybe it's hidden in the moon's reflection?
It must be. For within it, I sense the fragile...
Then there's no time to lose! Looks like we'll have to destroy them if we want to get to the iridescent moon's marrow.
Illusion shattered!
That must be the iridescent moon's marrow! Oh, we'll need to destroy these things before we can reach it!
Solidified! This is order!
A minute to memory! Roll!
Inazuma shines eternal!
Silence!
Shine down!
Everyone hold hands!
Let the mighty be humble! Gather!
There is no escape!
Hey!
Bow your head.
Hang in there! We're so close!
Stabilize! I will have order!
Everyone hold hands!
Silence!
Torn to oblivion! The thunder falls.
Solidify! Order guide you!
I see everything!
Bow your head. Settle down!
The iridescent moon's marrow, still burning away like an undying flame, yet now contaminated by the abyss. It has taken on a new form, and if we can purify the abyssal power within, we should be able to obtain its untainted essence.
It's so cold. Is it you? Are you here?
Huh? Are you talking to us?
At long last, I can see you once more. Our fates have crossed. And I'm sorry. I lied to you. Even knowing what was to come, I still couldn't let go of the fear in my heart. As death drew, the moment the moon shattered, my body began to split apart piece by piece. Like I was being cut into pieces by 1,000 blunt blades. My thoughts scattered as the cold crept. Tell me, what was it that brought you to us all that time ago? If only I had possessed your courage, then I might have been spared this torment, more painful than... You look so puzzled. That's how... Trust me when I say that everything happens for a reason. Farewell, Hypo.
about? Was that the goddess of the iridescent? It sounded like she was speaking to a long-lost friend. But none of us have ever met her before.
Perhaps. She took me for the goddess of the frost moon she once knew. For a fading soul like hers, our auras must be too similar to tell apart.
But anyway, we've got the iridescent moon's marrow now. That should help you regain your strength, right? Alright, time to leave this. That's odd. This place looks different than when we came in.
Waning moon,
Huh?
oh lifeless damsel.
Oh. Hurry! The place is collapsing!
It wants to trap us here.
Who's it? The Abyss?
Now we've taken the moon marrow. All that's left here is a dark will. It will show us no mercy.
Give it back! The crimson moons! My marrow! My heart! Finally! Huh? Oh no! The exit's blocked! They're back! Now what do we do?
This is where you fall. Witness my rise.
Hey, it's...
What are you waiting for?
Oh, we made it! Was that you, Arlecchino? Did you save us? Wait, your hands! They're...
Oh, this? Don't worry. It's a small price to pay. The Abyss wanted to trap you inside, and I defied its will by bringing you out. No wonder it's a little angry. No. I have paid the price, albeit a small one, and it cannot be undone. My hands have already fused with the Abyss. Purification would simply destroy whatever's left of them.
But you're... Oh, we're so sorry, Arlecchino. Paimon can't believe you'd make a sacrifice.
As much as I'd like to call it a favor, the truth is I was simply holding up my end of the deal. Well?
Yes, you did your part. And as promised, I will leave the iridescent moon's marrow in your care. From this day forth, may the two worlds' flames burn ever more brightly.
I'll take that as a blessing. Now, Columbina, give me your hand. Accept this moonlight I offer in return. Feeling stronger?
Hey, Columbina, are you okay?
I'm fine. Our powers are a little at odds.
By the Frost Moon's authority alone, wielding the power of the other moons was always going to be a stretch. Still, I think it's fair to say that your strength has returned, at least to the level it was at as Third Harbinger.
It's still not enough. There's no way I can hope to challenge Rayrier like this. Just one more ray of moonlight, if you would. It's okay. I can...
How about now? Fighting fit?
At the very least, I won't have to stay hidden like before. I want to see him gone from Not Cry. The Rayhir of Solnari and his wild hunt must be sent back where they...
Well, it's good to have something to aim for. You certainly seem more alive now than when I first met you. You didn't strike me as a ray of moonlight. More like a wisp of fog drifting in from who knows, but now you're full of vitality. Just
Thank you. Look after yourself too, Arlecchino. I know you have plans of your own, and that's why you're always seeking to grow stronger. But whatever you're after, don't let the Abyss take a hold of you. I do not wish to see you go down the same path as Rerir.
I appreciate the concern, Columbina. Although perhaps it's time you took a new name.
A new name?
Kutar, the Moon Maiden, Columbina. They're nothing more than code names. They describe who she is and the roles she's played, but they're not her real. We often use code names in the House of the Hearth, too. But it's knowing your real name that keeps you grounded. Up till now, you've been living a wandering life, so you've probably never really cared. All I'll say is this. Once you've defeated Rerir, give it some thought. All right, that's it from me. I'll get you back safely first, then go meet up with Sandra.
You're the best!
I appreciate the gesture. It speaks to your good character. Anyway, let's get going. There are more urgent things to do right now than trade comp.
It was a close call, but we got the iridescent moon's marrow and restored Columbina's strength. And that's all that matters. In other words,
Ad Astra ab...
quick as a flash! Fulfill our pact! Pyroclastic surge! Incinerate!
Time to buckle down.
Everybody stand back!
Rev the engines!
Show no mercy!
Wrath from the skies! Light it up! Rise with the sun!
Ow! Wonder they couldn't break the curse.
Imagine, if you can believe it, a whole other world within this universe. In that world, people found supreme bliss in what can best be described as lucid dreams. Reality became blurred, or rather, redefined. But outside of their flawless reality, the problems of the material world remained. And in the end, the cold, hard truths of the real world caught up to them in the reality to which they had escaped. Deep in the dark ruins, another soul who was fleeing destruction discovered the final remains of this world. These two terminals were once a means for the dreamers to manage the outside world. Now, they form part of the mage's collection. The mage once tried to form a world from things she had gleaned in her eclectic experience. But as the calm observer, she never found that spark of inspiration to bring everything together. Before fate caught up to the wandering mage, she paid one more visit to her wise and learned friends. She learned much during their time together, and although she did not find the answer, her loneliness faded away in time. But as she and her friends crafted other wondrous worlds together, she finally realized the missing piece in the world she dreamed of creating. A vibrant, captivating protagonist. The glorious traveler and their impeccable companion were the perfect candidates. She was filled with hope. The lucid dream of a lost civilization was built anew, and the mage's vast collection now had a world to call home. After sojourning for so long, it was time for her to leave lest the destruction catch up with her. And in any case, a new story had now begun.
Benny! Benny's adventure team, assemble! Good things come to those who don't wait around. That's what they say anyway. Knowing my luck, the opposite is probably true for me. Off we go! Light it up! Full throttle!
Oh, do you think the others are making good progress? Hope it's all going smoothly. Oh, hey, look, Prince! Llama! How did it all go?
All is well, thank you. Nefer and Yehoda had to stay at the curatorium to wrap things up, so they won't be joining us for now.
I ran into Miss Anefa and Miss Aino on the way back. Their work is still in progress, so I suspect they won't be back for a while.
You seem rather cheerful today, Mr. Flint.
I certainly am. I achieved what I set out to do and came away with more than I bargained for. Fighting alone can get quite...
We meet again. How have you been?
Albedo! What are you doing here?
That would be a natural assumption to make. It's also the correct one.
These two courageously lent me a hand while I was fighting the Wild Hunt. When they told me they were Servarka's colleagues, it all made sense. And given how people of outstanding talent tend to cross paths...
So? Who's your travel buddy, Albedo?
Why don't you come and introduce yourself?
A gentleman of few words, I see. And a rather stern countenance. I presumed you were acquainted with him. Is that not the case?
It's nice to meet you. Again. We've technically met before.
Wait a sec! You're Minnie Durin!
That's right. It's me. I'm glad to see you again.
By the way, he says it's okay if you drop the mini.
Yeah, I'm not as mini as I used to be.
Interesting, isn't it? The first step towards blending into human society appears to be reflecting on whether one's name really reflects who they are.
Wow! You look so different! In a good way, of course. It's great to see you looking so healthy.
Thank you, Paimon. And although you're as mini as ever, I understand that diminutives don't always convey endearment. I'll be sure to simply call you Paimon, as a sign of my great respect for you.
Wow! You're such a smooth talker now. Paimon could get used to this. From now on, you may refer to her as your esteemed guide, Paimon.
Personally, I think our little Paimon is the perfect size. When people call her Little Paimon, it's just because she's so adorable that they can't help themselves. If that's not a sign of endearment, what is?
You're absolutely right, Miss Lauma. My brother still has a long road ahead of him when it comes to understanding human relationships.
Anyway, speaking of long journeys, didn't Columbina, leave with you? How come she isn't back yet?
She's been catching up with old friends. Wouldn't be surprised if she stopped for a cup of tea, or 10 on the way back.
Uh-oh. People are talking about me. Hope it's nothing negative.
Judging from your expressions, I'm guessing it all went well?
It's getting crowded here. I'll go grab some chairs.
No need. This is a job for an alchemist. I'll whip some up
Thank you for your hospitality, ladies and gentlemen, but I was merely escorting my friend. I'll be meeting Sandrone shortly, as we still have some things to discuss. It's been a pleasure, everyone. But this is...
We really appreciate your help.
Oh, come on. Spare the formalities. I'm just glad I could help out some true friends.
I understand. Well, bye for now, Harlequino.
Oh, this place is hopping. It's probably a good thing one of us left. Otherwise, we might not fit all these people in.
Are you saying we're about to run out of chairs?
As a matter of fact, I am. Come on in and see for yourself. I overheard your little chit-chat outside, by the way. With Miss Columbina's colleague gone, we should be back to the original crew plus the other colleagues I brought. Though, it looks like we have another new face. Someone else managed to rope in a colleague too?
Frankly, you and Paimon are the only people I know here.
This here is Deanslip, colleague League of Teyvat's greatest guide, Paimon, and greatest adventurer, the Traveler. Well, not exactly colleagues, more sort of friends.
When someone else jumps in to do the announcing, you know you're speaking to someone important.
Let's hear what he has to say.
Note to self. Once Paimon knows your name, the rest of the world will soon follow.
When he comes looking for us, it's usually something important. Paimon's guessing you've heard about the Wild Hunt, then.
From the looks of it, you're about to hold a meeting. If I were to say that the Wild Hunt is our mutual enemy, would that earn me a seat at the table?
As the saying goes, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Mr. Dainsleif, there's a seat with your name on it, though I can't promise the same for everyone else. Hey, Albedo, think you can rustle up a couple more chairs?
After all this time apart, Grandmaster Varka's first order is to rustle up a couple more chairs.
Is he being sarcastic?
Hey, he's your brother. Why are you asking us?
I've still got a lot to learn about the nuances of human conversation. Trying to decipher Albedo's way of speaking has been like jumping in at the deep end.
Oh, good point. Paimon gets you now. Don't sweat it. There are people who go their whole lives without getting the hang of it. You're ahead of the game already.
I wonder what's taking Nefer so long.
Perhaps you should go and check in with her.
I just got back from...
Miss Nefer doesn't strike me as the type to share under such circumstances.
Oh, but it's fine for me.
What can I say?
Impressive. She barely fought back at all.
As I'm sure Miss Lauma will realize soon enough, the trick in life is to always pitch in with other people's responsibilities so that you can be selective with your own.
Another trick is to simply hide in the background.
Spoken like...
Anyway, looks like we've got some time to kill before... Feel free to chat amongst your...
Is there something you'd like...
Yeah! For starters, why'd you just show up here without even giving us a heads up?
If you think back to our previous interactions, you may recall that that's hardly out of...
You do have a point there. Oh yeah! You'll need to find somewhere to stay the night too, right? Want to tag along with us?
Sure. Let's...
Great! Paimon will... And in return, we can get Dainsleif to be our very own personal bodyguard.
If that's what you had in mind, you should have said so sooner. I'd be happy to help.
Oh, okay then. Anyway, since we're all...
Indeed.
You're both awfully quiet. Why don't I start us off with an icebreaker?
Much obliged.
Have either of you ever...
That sounds like a love...
I dabble occasionally.
He's an excellent painter. Tables, chairs, people...
I'm flattered.
If I ever get the...
I'll bear that in mind. Anyway...
Oh, I'd be fine with anything. Whatever style feels best to...
Very well.
You can replicate any style I want?
I can try. If you show me a sample, I'll do my best to match.
Thank you. In that case, I'll...
Truth be told, I can't...
You're not alone there, my friend. The Lightkeepers also struggle to bring everyone...
I don't doubt that. I've only ever met two Ratniki, one being you, and the other being that young guy.
Itlua's a good apple. I'll give him that. He's kind, honest, and regularly delivers supplies to my lighthouse. A true Ratnik to the core.
So you're what? A fake Ratnik? That's what it sounds like you're saying. But I get the feeling that's not quite what you meant. Come on, why the awkward...
Sorry. I'm not even gonna bother trying to hide it. You've known all along, haven't you, my friend? Now, that was an awkward silence.
Let's just keep this between ourselves. Probably best if Eloa doesn't know, huh?
That goes without saying. Gotta be careful what you share with youngsters.
Anyone else in the know? Let me guess.
It's dangerous being too sharp for one's own good, you know.
Then, in the name of the Animo Archon Barbados himself, I swear.
When we went for drinks, you said that you and Barbados were practically best buds. In the light of that claim, do you really expect me to—
Of course. Just as long as you don't go spreading around the fact that I'm close with Barbados.
Fair enough, then. Nothing like a bit of
Ah, Miss Nefer. You made it after all. But what about Yehoda?
I'm here to give you an update on how things are going on our end. Once this is over, I'll be heading straight back to continue my work. I left Yehoda back at the Curatorium to watch over things while I'm gone.
Huh. So much for just this once.
Shh! Not so loud! We're on a roll here! What if she remembers and suddenly decides to back out?
Did you say something, Mr. Varka?
Huh? I didn't say anything. Right, Flints?
Must have been a frog. They get so noisy around here at nighttime. It's like they're putting on a concert in the background.
Anyway, before we begin, there's a few introductions to make. Let me start by saying that it's an honor to be speaking before so many distinguished colleagues and collaborators. First up, we have Miss Lauma. As Moon Chanter, she's the leader of the Frost Moon Scions, a local religious community in Nodcry. Then there's Miss Nefer, boss of the Curatorium of Secrets, an intel gatherer extraordinaire. Nefer is leading the investigation into Rerer's background, assisted by Yehoda and Lauma. From the little I've heard, they're making some great progress. Over here, we have Mr. Flintz, a ratnik and guardian of the abandoned lighthouse. In our last operation, he courageously distracted the Wild Hunt to buy time for the rest of us. For those of you who've never met, this is Mr. Albedo, a renowned alchemist and captain of the Knights of Favonius investigation team. By his side is a new face for us all, myself included, Mr. Durin, who has come to lend his aid. Next up, we have the Moon Maiden and former Fatui Harbinger, Miss Columbina. Then we have the Traveler, who's earned more titles than I could possibly hope to list out, so I'll spare you the rundown. And Paimon, the ultimate travel companion and quite possibly the best guide in all of Teyvat.
Whoa! That's a lot of people! Great!
Miss Nefer, it looks like you might have another job coming your way, so, congratulations on the booming business.
You think I haven't got enough on my hands as it is? Who's looking for me now?
That would be me, Miss Nefer. I have a commission for you.
And you are?
Who I am doesn't matter right now. What does matter is that I'd like you to gather more intelligence about the Recher of Solnari.
Well, it's not as if we never take on anonymous commissions. But in your case, I'll have to decline. I'm gonna take a wild guess and say your job's probably more hassle than it's worth. Something about you seems like bad news.
It's my eyes, isn't it?
Conrian, I assume. And what's with the mask? Are you trying to hide your identity? In any case, the fact that you're even still alive raises an awful lot of questions for me.
My name is Dainsleif. And yes, I am from Conria. As I'm sure you're aware, the Recher of Solnari's real name is Rerir.
He was— Really? Then you must have been quite an influential figure yourself.
You flatter me, but none of that matters anymore. My point was simply to clarify why I have asked Miss Nefer to investigate
So you're both from Conria, and it sounds like you used to be friends? What am I missing here? Surely you already know how he became one of the Five Sinners.
I'll tell you everything I know. The history of Conria, the names and identities of the Five Sinners. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I have never spoken openly of this before. But the truth was exactly as people say. The Five Sinners were each driven by their own desires, and it was by playing upon these that the Abyss tempted them to their fall, tearing Conria apart in the process. The visionary, Vedifenir, who wished to foretell the future. The wise, Haroptatir. Gold, Rhindaughter, who desired to create life. The foul, Sertologi, who pursued supreme strength. And last, but not least, Raker of Solnari, Rerir, Ravager of the Moon. Of the five, Rerir is the only one who remains a mystery to me. He never harbored grand ambitions. So what changed in the space of a single night? How did he come to fall like the other?
In other words, you're saying that his change came as a shock to you, and you have no idea what actually happened?
That's right.
You mentioned how the Abyss tempted them, which led to their fall. But what did that look like in practice? And what other context can you give me about the events of that time? The more detail—
Strangely, now that it comes to it, I hardly know where to begin. The fateful night took place during the era of the Eclipse Dynasty. One day, my elder brother, the visionary, Vedifenir, when I came to hear of this, my fury knew no bounds. I gathered together every ally I thought I— Centuries on, the memories of that night still haunt me, like a never-ending— But then, I was betrayed. Even Vedifenir, the very person I had come to rescue, abandoned me and partook of the Abyss's power.
So, it's personal after all. Then tell me, Mr. Dainsleif, what price are you willing to pay? You, of all people, must know that nothing comes for free.
I cannot say what price would be worthy of such a commission. But know this. Rerir was not always a madman. Believe it or not, there was a time when he was just an ordinary man, working for the Conria. Uncovering the truth of Rerir's past is the only way to unravel this mystery. But before you decide if you will accept my commission, I will tell you more about him. Enough, I hope, to help you plan your—
Sounds pretty good to me. Feels like we just flagged down a random passerby, only to discover he's actually a master strategist who has a score to settle with our enemy.
Can I borrow your halo? It could be useful in the lighthouse.
Hey, enough with the wisecracks! Besides, isn't that lamp of yours bright enough already?
Relax. It was meant to be a compliment. If that was a little over the top for your liking, I'll make sure to tone it down next time.
I'll give your proposal some serious thought, Mr. Dainsleif. Let's speak in private once the meeting is over.
Before that, there's a few things I'd like to share.
Now that we've united the hearts of the three moons...
I believe it will take a little. You've done so much for me, so I want to be completely honest with you all. Even though I'm doing a lot better now, the truth is, my recovery will likely be an ongoing process. From the moment I was born, my power has been slowly ebbing away. And that is because Teyvat has never accepted me. Even with the moons united as one, it seems my rejection cannot be undone. So far, I have yet to find a solution. It may turn out to be a problem that will plague me until the day I finally leave this place behind. Even so, I will do everything in my power to help you drive out the Raker of Solnari. As Arlecchino put it, this is not about chasing the spoils of victory. It's just a gesture.
Kutar.
Defeating the Rahier of Solnari will be no easy task. While my strength slowly recovers, we'll also...
Naturally. We should take all the help we can get if we hope...
We've considered several viable plans now. But our choice hinges on the answers to a few key questions. Is it even possible to kill Rahier? Given Albedo's expertise in alchemy, I think we should...
Understood.
As for the other two...
So you're placing all your hopes on me?
We can't thank you enough for agreeing to help us. Honestly, I can hardly believe how lucky we are.
You sure have a talent for changing your tune, Miss Moonchanter. Timid like Yehoda one moment, then flinches insincere flattery the next.
Ladies, please. I must object to your portrayal of me. That's all. Feel free to keep bickering. Just pretend I'm not here.
I almost don't want to leave this room. I'm curious to see how this plays out.
I have faith in you, Miss Nefer. Something tells me you'll stand by us until the very end.
Oh? And what makes you so sure of that? What if I suddenly decide that my compensation is insufficient?
This isn't about the money. I can sense that you've got a deep-seated distaste for Rahier. And knowing you, that alone is
Look at them getting along so well. Like two peas in a pod.
And I'm the one they accuse of insincere flattery. There is no justice.
Miss Lauma, you have to understand something. Unlike you, I don't actually enjoy having everyone's hopes on my shoulders.
Is that right? Well, maybe the fact that I'm willing to put my hopes in other people says more about me than you. But the fact is, I also trust you. And that's because I know that you're someone we can count on.
Anyway, we've got our plan, so let's get moving. Mr. Dainsleif, let's talk. And
this whole experience is teaching me a lot. Why? You think I've got it wrong?
Quite the opposite. But what makes it so hilarious is how long it's taken you to realize.
thank you for waiting.
It's okay. We actually used the time to help Dainsleif get a room at the hotel.
That's very considerate of you. Now, I trust you share my curiosity. We spoke at some length after the meeting.
Dane has a lot of faith in us, that's for sure.
Likewise. I appreciate that you got right on board without interrogating me about why I invited you. It shows that you trust me to explain everything in...
That's because we know what you're capable of. We appreciate you too, Nefer. You might have been forced to help in the beginning, but this time, it was your choice.
That's one way to put it. Another is this, that once a decision's been made, it's set in stone. After that, my only goal... Alright, so here's how it is. I'm going to access Rarier's thoughts again using my confidential method. Now, I'm sure you've seen things like this before on your travels, so you're surely well aware of how dangerous it can be. The reason I've gathered you all here is to ensure my safety during the proceedings. I plan for us to enter the fragment of his consciousness together, and once inside, I will focus on searching for information. Think of this as a diving expedition into someone's brain. If I'm the diver, you are my safety equipment, tasked with keeping me alive while I'm under the surface. Once the ceremony begins, we will all be spying on privileged information. But in the interests of safety... Lastly, any individuals of a weaker constitution are advised not to partake in the ceremony. In any case, Paimon has her own job to do. which requires staying in the room, but not joining the ceremony.
Well, good luck, everyone! Sounds like all Paimon can do is cross her fingers and root for you guys.
There's a little more to it than that. I was being serious when I said you have a job to do. While the rest of us are inside Rarir's mind, it's imperative that we have a team member on the outside. In the event that something goes wrong, you will be our first responder. I don't anticipate any issues, but the extra level of safety will be greatly appreciated.
I second that. This is a dangerous operation here, and you're our whole rescue team. That's pretty much the most important job in the crew.
So, Paimon's like the lifeguard? Yeah, that makes sense.
Good. Please, take a seat. We'll get started momentarily.
So, did Mr. Dainsleif tell you anything else?
He told me that he believes Rarir kept some big secrets in his life. He's not sure that they were the cause of his eventual downfall, but he's asked me to uncover what—
But surely you're not planning to go through with this.
If you think that, you'd be overestimating me. I'm a businesswoman, not a mercenary. But I do have my own professional reasons for taking this job. You think I'd turn down the opportunity to get a first-hand glimpse into Conrian history?
Well, as long as you don't let—
You're such—
All right, I'm good to go.
All set over here, too.
Promise, Paimon, you'll be extra careful.
All right. Let your whole body relax. We're about to begin. Close your eyes. Phew. Could this be his office? Pretty standard setup. Bookshelves. According to Dainsleif, Rarir used to be an intelligence operative. Chances are there's plenty of top-secret intel stashed away in this room. Is this where you keep your secrets, Rarir? Can't say I'm not looking forward to this. He looks even gloomier than last time. I wonder what's changed.
Today's files are in. Time to wade through them, just like usual. Male, 51. Occupation, cook. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has maintained frequent contact with other descendants over the past year. Poses a threat to the dynasty. Neutralized. This one should be archived under purged target. Female, 23. Occupation, office clerk. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has maintained frequent contact with other descendants over the past year. Poses a threat to the neutralized. Another one for purged targets. Sounds like she was that other man's daughter. Never mind. Once again. Male, 40. Occupation, teacher. Confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has been observed making contact with other descendants during the past year. Poses neutralized. Just another nobody for the archive. Come to think of it, I remember surveilling this man. A case like his never would have been considered a priority in the past. Huh. He barely even interacted with other Crimson Moon descendants. Female, 16. Occupation, none. Orphan and confirmed Crimson Moon descendant. Has been observed making contact with other descendants during the past year. Neutralized. Filed. I have no recollection of this girl. None whatsoever. She doesn't seem to be anyone important, but... Female, 13. Occupation, none. Neutralized and... Filed. Male, 11. Neutralized. Male. 6.
It's funny, isn't it? Your job is becoming both harder and easier at the same time, depending on how you look at it. Sooner or later, the Crimson Moon descendants will be completely wiped out. But as their numbers dwindle, they become harder and harder to track down.
That's not how it is.
Fortunately, however, most of the able-bodied adults have already been taken care of. The remaining weaklings will be increasingly easy to deal with.
No! No. My job is to ensure the survival of the Eclipse Dynasty. And the only way to do that is by eliminating any and all potential threats. It's a perfectly Every single one of my colleagues can attest to my fairness. And if my friends were aware of the facts, I know they'd back me up too. Assuming, of course, that they were aware of all the facts. Mr. Vedifalnir, it's been quite some time since we last met.
Revier, I trust you're here because you have something important to discuss.
Forgive me. I wasn't tuning out, it's just, I noticed you didn't even phrase that as a question. Tell me, does someone in your position ever feel the need to ask questions?
It is indeed within my power to foresee certain things. Things like your arrival.
I was just thinking. It won't be long before I'll be inviting both you and Dane to my wedding.
That isn't a lie, but nor is it a fact as such. It's a wish, isn't it?
No fooling a prophet, is there?
Ever since that day we met for drinks, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came looking for me.
Does it feel good? Knowing how the future will unfold.
I'm afraid the notions of good and bad fail to capture the complexity of what such a power entails. Once you've seen what will come to pass, it can be all too easy to succumb to fear and melancholy. Unless, of course, you learn to abandon these feelings. You fear my silence, and long to hear the words I left unspoken that day.
That's right.
You must have noticed my reluctance to broach the subject. And the reason is simple. Because the truth could never have lived up to your hopes. For both our sakes, such words are better. The burden of prophecy was never meant for your shoulders.
So who exactly do you deem worthy to hear your prophecies? None but our exalted king?
Or rather, our king as he once was.
You're closer to his majesty than I am. You must know better than anyone how much he's changed.
You say that as though it is to my benefit. Yet precisely because of that, I dare not speak rashly. A king can turn out to be the most virtuous of rulers, or a tyrant, more terrible.
You are so wise and far-sighted, yet still you would have me live in fear of the unknown.
You make a fair point. Especially given my silence alone was all it took to send you spiraling downward. Very well, let me offer you some advice. And I say this not as a prophet or a visionary, but simply as the brother of your friend. For many reasons, there is very little chance of your marriage ending in happiness. If happiness is what you seek, you should find another fiancé.
Hold on. There's that same black fog again. Could this memory belong to Thelindis? Guess I better tread carefully.
Wait. Hear me out. This time we finally got a clear look at his face and learned his true identity. His name is Rayrir. And he claimed—
What?
Cruel irony, isn't it?
Why are you
Simple. I want you to kill him. You are the only person he would never suspect.
No, absolutely not. I would never dream of doing such a despicable thing.
So you'll just stand by and watch him slaughter us to the last? Do not forget that the blood of the Crimson Moon flows in your veins too.
The blood of the Crimson Moon? What does that matter now? The dynasty has long been dead and gone. You think that alone is reason enough for me to throw away everything I have?
Why wouldn't it be? You too were once a child of the Crimson Moon, just like me. Don't tell me you've never felt so much as a flicker of fury for the way we were trampled.
As long as you promise to abandon this pipe dream of restoring your dynasty, I can try to persuade him. Or have him persuade the—
Persuade the Vinster King? Do you even know why he's so obsessed with hunting us down? Why he keeps trying to force us to hand over our secrets? Over and over again? The Vinster King. A blind fool. His eyes clouded by powers from beyond this world. A petty little man with a miser's heart. And he dares to sit upon the throne? Mark my words. Sooner or later, Conria will fall. And it will be his doing. If you can't bring yourself to do it, so be it. Just you watch. It won't be long before calamity descends upon us all.
The Rayhir of Solnap, that really is quite a secret you've been keeping from me, Rayrir. But who am I to talk? Am I really any better? I've kept my own past a secret that love should be built on honesty. But ours was born from lies. Is it really so wrong to hide things that would only make life harder? If we don't cover up the parts that no one else should see, how can we go on Vedifulnir must have known all this. And that's why he made his prophecy. In the end. But I won't just sit by and watch this disaster unfold. I'll do everything in my power to protect what I cannot afford to lose. No matter who I...
Was that Rayrir who just walked past the window? Doesn't it give you the chills that he still takes the same road to work every day? As if nothing ever happened.
Those people at the deli.
Enough already. They're clearly pretty taken by their own disguises, so just smile and play along. Will the rust under beasts like that?
But surely you can see he's not the man he pretends to be! So many have died already, and they say that the king's madness grows with— We're not going to survive this, are we? But why does it have to be this way? Do we really deserve to die just because of the blood that runs through our veins? Thelindis!
Sorry, Freether. My mind was off wander. I heard you, though. You're talking about what Rayrir said. He's just following the king's orders. He's a secret agent, and it's his job to hunt down rebels and dissidents.
By the time you first met him, he'd already taken lives. Maybe he was using you from the very beginning.
No. Rerir has no idea I have anything to do with the Crimson Moon. My family are only distant relatives of the main lineage, and besides, my eyes are perfectly... Truth be told, apart from my teacher, pretty much no one knows I have any connection to any of it. It's been a long time since my family severed.
But as Orlog said, who could possibly talk sense into that raving lunatic?
I'll work something out. Trust me, I'm with you all. But for now, you need to keep yourselves hidden. Don't let anyone find you, anyone at all. Don't forget that Rerir is an Eclipse operative. You need to be extra careful when he's around. For now, don't come look.
If even you can't escape this, what hope do the rest of us have? But after all this time together...
I won't speak in his defense. Nor can I give you a clear answer to that question. But I'll do everything I can. Here, hold on to this. If an opportunity to escape presents itself, take it. You'll be glad you took some spare change.
You called that change?
I've got a job, and there's still money coming in. But you can't go anywhere right now. Please think about yourself.
Another day, another round of assassination training. Training ground is just beyond this hidden passageway.
When you kill a person, doesn't it bother you when you end up covered in their blood?
Why would it? Aren't we all just walking blood bags?
But not everyone was accustomed to hunting down others like prey. You've been a hunter for so long now. You seem to have forgotten that most people don't just go around killing one another.
Leave me alone. Make sure you have a firm grip on the handle, then choose your angle well. Keep your movements light and brisk. Prey won't sense a thing.
I doubt that. However, no one ever died a quiet death at your hands.
I work clean. No traces.
Can't hide the truth.
Board, though. The king just happens to need you right now. It's unlikely he doesn't.
It won't happen.
He's changed. Ever since he fell into the spell of that power. In the beginning, he only had you take out a handful of the guilty. But now...
The ones I dealt with have always been guilty. And I've carried out my work flawlessly.
You know why Olympus didn't accept your proposal, don't you? Was it because she didn't trust me? Or something else?
Enough!
Delindis, do you still remember Orlog?
Orlog.
The boy who was pretending to sell flowers.
Yes, we did. What about?
He was arrested 2 days ago.
He...
I just don't get it! After everything he's done, why do you still stick? Or does it mean nothing to you that people keep...
No, that's not... Just hear me.
I need to go now, Thelindis. They're looking for us. If you ever need a place to hide, come find...
Thelindis. Over the course of this week, the research object was subjected to interference for a total of 47 hours for experimental purposes. All subjects of observation that were sent inside have now... The situation within is proving more problematic than anticipated. No progress whatsoever. What now? Things are getting worse by the... But... if all this research comes to nothing, what then? Sooner or later it'll... But... could he really bring himself to kill me? No. Surely he wouldn't have the heart.
Why won't you just let us go? We don't even know each other. All we want is to live ordinary, peaceful lives.
You want... to live?
Yes. I just want to go on living. Is that really such an unforgivable crime?
You want to go on living. I want to keep living too. To keep living forever. That's why I have no choice but to continue on the path I'm on. If only some savior would suddenly swoop down and change the way the world is. Too bad that's not going to happen. Imagine that. If there really were such a person, you and I wouldn't be standing here like this, would we? Today's files are in. Time to wade through them just like usual. No, I don't get tired of it. It's my job. And not only am I lucky to have it, I'm good at it too. Thelindis? No. No. Why? But you bear no mark of the crimp. How could you possibly have anything to do with them? A diluted bloodline. Carefully concealed. I see it now. You've been living in the shadow. What a fool I've been. Numbing myself with talk of justice. Even imagining my friends would back me up. Irminsul. Finster King! How far are you going to take this? From the direct bloodline to secondary offshoots? And today it's the descendants of the Crimson Moon. Who will it be tomorrow? Will you not rest until everyone down here is... No. This cannot go on. This...
You're really letting me go?
I am. As long as you can guarantee that no one will find you.
Don't worry, I'll be extra careful. No one will know I was here, but... what about you? If you let me go, you won't be able to complete your mission.
Good point. In that case, maybe you should stay.
No, please! I just want to see the...
Go on living?
Yes. I know you're a man of your word.
If I let you leave, what will become of me? Just kidding. But remember, don't let anyone know you were caught. We'll be seeing each other again very soon if you do.
Even shadows in the dark must live by a code. But you can't save everyone.
You've been whispering in my ear for days now, Vedifilnir. What are you trying to do? Break me down?
I only say this because you long for an answer to your problems. Let her go, Rerir, or you risk losing everything.
I will not abandon Thelindis.
Then you'll need a little more vigilance and a lot more power. The world is changing, Rerir. Keep your eyes peeled for your moment of opportunity.
That voice used to be so unclear. But now I know exactly whose it is. It's Vedifilnir. He won't tell me how to actually resolve any of this, but he keeps trying to manipulate me like a puppet. What's his game here? Tell me then. What will this moment of opportunity look like? And no answer. He's like a ghost.
So, the Eclipse Dynasty was purging, well, massacring the descendants of the Crimson Moon. And it seems like it was all connected to the Vinster King's research. The King's obsession with abyssal power left the future of Conria hanging in the balance. No wonder every aspect of Rerir's life was so unstable. And it looks like it almost defies belief that a couple like them could hide the truth from each other for so long. If the Vinster King hadn't... And why does Vedifilnir, Dainslif's older brother, keep talking in Rerir's head? The human mind is like a vast desert of shifting sands. When you follow the flow of someone's memories, you only ever see the parts they're willing to let surface. Time for something a bit more creative. We've been inside Rerir's mind this whole time. There's already enough clues on the board to start reading between the lines and mapping. Now, we can finally begin to put the pieces together. Sure, it'll only be a reconstruction, part simulation, part reasoning, but it's usually pretty accurate. Once we've built up a cognitive profile, we just need to cross-check the logic behind his actions. And then we'll be able to take a sneak peek at whatever it is that Rerir has really been hiding.
Rerir, are you there? Hey, Rerir! Come out!
Dane?
Quick, come with me. I'll explain everything once we've met up with the others.
Okay. I'll come. But the Lindis is still over at the Universitas. I'll need to leave her a note.
All right then, but make it quick.
I've never seen Dane so worked up before. Whatever this is, it must be...
Well, this is a nice change, meeting you all at this hour. When men and women of ambition can speak face to face in broad daylight, I say that's a big step forward for our dear Conria.
Don't be ridiculous. We do not fear the day. Why would we seek refuge in the night?
You might ask your blade that same question. I'm told the word on the street is that Sertologi only strikes when he has an unfair advantage. But that is patent.
If this is your way of offering me replacement limbs, believe me.
Oh, we can certainly discuss that. With bioalchemy, anything...
Roptatir, what brings you here?
Why, Dainsleif, of course. He invited me. Please, cast aside your apprehensions, Miss Rhine-daughter. Whatever the rumors may say, I am but a humble servant of the king, and I can assure you he affords me no greater convenience than—
Well, the Universitas Magistrorum won't stop fawning over you. So at least some of the rumors must be true. You're clearly doing well for yourself. So drop the... You're president of the Universitas Magistrorum, the chief royal mage known as the Wise by royal appointment. And by far the most favored, Vice President Veit doesn't even try to hide his envy when he sees—
My success is the product of hard work and good luck. It's as simple as that. Were the king not such an extremist, I hardly think— Of course, no job is without its gripe. And as for Veit, in missing out on the presidency, he—
You're all here. I apologize for the short notice, but it was an emergency.
You must be Rerir.
Mr. Sertologi. Yes, I handled your case file during your sentencing. Nothing personal, of course. I'm pleasantly surprised that you remember me.
You're clearly a person of substance if you've been invited here. But Dainsleif, you'd better have a very good reason for convening this little gathering.
It's my brother, Vedofenir. After he spoke at the court this morning, the king was so infuriated by his words that he had him blinded in both eyes and thrown in prison.
Vedofenir in prison? Strange. I thought the king trusted him and Horoptatir more than anyone else in the world. Does this mean the king's circle of trust just got even smaller?
It has nothing to do with trust. It's about what the king wants, which is as clear as day to anyone paying attention. I simply appease him, because it's in the best interests of the Universitas.
And also because you're slimy. Vedofenir, perhaps less so.
Do you honestly think this is an important discussion to be having right now?
Dane, what are you planning to do?
Rescue Vedofenir, I assume.
Correct. It will mean storming the palace by force. Tonight. I need all of you on my side.
That's far too dangerous. And don't forget, Dainsleif, you're captain of the Royal Guard. You swore an oath to the throne.
Hmm? You've been planning this for a while, haven't you?
I have no desire to commit treason. But whatever critique the king may have of Vedofenir, disfiguring your most loyal subject for putting the best interests of his court and nation first, this is not the conduct of a wise ruler. My blade will force the king to see the error of his way.
So, Vedofenir's prophecy enraged the king. I'm sure it wasn't what he wanted to hear, but if he won't take counsel even from the visionary, that is deeply troubling news. The extent of His Majesty's madness is now all too clear. The question is, how does a man like me get out of this situation unscathed? You have noble ambitions, Dane. But I'm afraid they don't do much for a guy like me. I'm not interested in saving the world.
A letter of pardon? For whom? The chances of the Vinster King issuing a pardon for anyone connected to the Crimson... This black fog over the board must have some connection to Thelindis. But why is it taking this form? Does it have something to do with Rerir's... Another mystery I'll need to unravel.
Author Thelindis. Over the course of this week, the research object was subjected to interference for a total of 60. Research dating back to the Crimson Moon Dynasty has established 2 points regarding moon marrow. Firstly, its origins have... However, there are a number of hurdles to overcome before we can answer the question of where it leads to. To start with, an enormous amount of power is then required to keep the gate open. Currently, the total power output of our instruments remains in the single digits. To make matters worse, I am now the only staff member remaining in the Moon Marrow lab. The Universitas Magistrorum recently decided to move most of its personnel into abyssal energy research. This is not a wise move. I have always maintained that placing all our hopes in a single source of power is risky, especially one as poorly understood as this. As well as making ourselves overly... I apologize if this comes across as disrespectful. But if we really made it there one day, what would we find? And how would we go about taming the unknown? This is for you. I heard you're gonna leave the city with your parents.
Thelindis, did you hear about what happened?
I've heard nothing. Rerir got back very late last Friday, and... You never saw him, and I don't know what he did. And this conversation never happened.
What if he finds out that you pried into his secrets?
Don't be silly. I don't know what secrets he does or doesn't have. All I know is he's just a normal guy who happens to run some errands for the king.
Are you scared of him?
I don't know. The Rerir I know doesn't match. Logically, I should be scared of him. And yet, I don't want to lose him. But enough about that. You should...
What's in it?
A piece of the moon.
A red moon? You mean...
That's right. Our moon.
I promise, Thelindis.
The Crimson Moon bloodline will never die out. It's light, the color of blood, no matter how long it takes.
Hurry, everyone, and stick to the plan.
Sir Dainsleif, what are you? Is this treason? You know what happens to those who betray the throne. Please, don't do—
It is the king himself who has betrayed the throne. He has betrayed all of Conria.
If you have any love left for justice in your heart, you should join me.
It's showtime. Dane and his group will handle the troops in the palace. Then Hraptatir and Rheindater will disarm the security measure. My job is to enter the prison and rescue Vedafilnir. Stay safe.
Look after my brother. Draw your blade. It is time for—
This place is filthy. And the smell is abominable. Found you. Hello, Mr. Vedafilnir. Surprised? Oh, wait. I guess surprise isn't an emotion that prophets feel very often.
I certainly felt some surprise in the moment when I was blinded. Surprise at the king's sheer ignorance. Surprise at just how unfairly this world responds to words of earnest remonstrance.
I'm curious. What did you prophesize?
It wasn't a prophecy. It was a word of warning. Someone had to say it. The king has forsaken all reason in pursuit of his obsessions. I simply told him that if he continues on this path, Conria will surely fall.
But he didn't listen. Worse still, he stabbed you in both eyes and locked you away. Dane asked for my help. The court is in complete chaos now, but I'm sure you predicted that.
Everything is transpiring as I foresaw. Yet I am powerless to change it. Fate is an immutable force. I do wonder whether giving a man the power to see the future does nothing more for him than slowly crush his spirit.
Forgive my curtness, Vedafilnir, but the king did not suddenly turn on you today. His suspicions have been brewing for a long time. You can't have wisdom beyond the reach of your fellow man without attracting his fear and suspicion. There are things the king does not want to see. So, he doesn't want you having visions of them either. He blinded you because he thought this would make the visions stop.
He wasn't entirely wrong. I did indeed lose my power to see the future. Right?
Until what? Well, tonight could go a lot of different ways. 5 of us banded together to storm the palace, all so we could rescue you. This will go down as the most tumultuous day.
I sense hatred in you. But also hope. A desperate hope that with the tyrant deposed, that will be— But this is not the end. It is the beginning of a new... There are many men of honor and courage in this world, Rerir. But you are not one of them. You're not here for justice, are... Is that a dagger? Interesting. Why not the polearm? It was always your weapon of choice.
With your abilities, I don't doubt that you were able to recover some of your sight. But I also doubt that you want to make an enemy of me right now.
Of course not. We're on the same side, aren't we?
We could be. But I need you to be honest with me, Vedafilnir. At this point...
You mean your future?
Yes. And I know there are bigger things at stake here. A dynasty, a nation, maybe the entire world. But forgive me, I can't abandon the one I love to save myself. I just can't do it. But you see a broader picture of the future than I. You see the solutions to the biggest problems of our age. So tell me, what is my...
In matters of fate, answers are either right or wrong. What will be, and what will not. Maybe you are willing to pay a certain price in the pursuit of happiness, but unfortunately, fate does not. That is the cruelest thing about fate. It is unmoved by...
That can't be true. I know it's your voice that I keep hearing in my head, urging me to see how the world is changing, to seek more power, so I can protect... You show me disaster, but you won't show me how to avoid it? Why? Why are you doing...
My voice. So, you hear it too? The voice that steals your mind, gains your trust, and it turns out that we are not so different, you and I.
Vedafilnir just broke into the strangest smile I've ever seen in my life. As if he'd discovered some monumental secret. But then he suddenly switched to...
Very well then. My advice to you is as follows. You must persevere. Whatever trials and tribulations you may face, be steadfast in the belief that they are your path to the future. For as long as you live, your story with Thelindis shall not come to an end. That is the only chance you have of fighting back against fate. It is up to you whether you believe my words. Regardless, that is all I will say on the matter. I have no right...
I will hold you to your word.
Thank you for setting me free. In return, I will tell you one more thing that you cannot afford to ignore.
Just then, a strange wave of energy rippled through the city. We had no...
If I were you, I would head to the Universitas Magistrorum.
The Universitas?
I'm sure we'll be seeing each other again very soon.
Whatever Vedafilnir said, I didn't catch it. I didn't even help him out of the prison. There was no time to... Monsters? Is this Rhindaughter's doing? Or the Universitas Magistrorum? Out of my way!
Fulfill our pact!
It all adds up.
The Universitas. That reminds me of allegedly the king, but if they were ever gonna...
Help! Help! Hold on! Don't let them anywhere near you! Save me! I can't! Ah!
That sounded like an explosion. So, the rumor is true? What other means does the king have at his disposal? They must run on power from... And given it's a major center of abyss research, anyone over at the Universitas will be in grave danger.
hide the truth. What a joke. It all adds up. I saw this coming.
Teamwork is dreamwork!
Can't hide the truth.
Get to work! Pyroclastic surge! Off we go! I'm going in!
It all adds up. Seek within.
Light of the blazing sun!
Monsters. At the Universitas Oh no, it's no use. Of course. I'm done for. Ah! Stay back! Please stay back!
What's that?
Reverie! So the rumors about your work are true.
What? No! Listen, something happened at the palace tonight. We have to leave!
You don't need to lie to me anymore.
What do you mean?
I know why you're worried, and I will respect the decision you've made. But it's okay, because I found a solution. I know how to end all this. You can have it back. The normal life you so desire. But until then, I'm afraid our wedding will have to wait.
Cylinders? No, don't do it! Cylinders! Cylinders!
I told you, Reverie. Let her go. You will find someone better.
No! No, I won't do it! I have to save her!
By what means exactly? A lowly pawn. You lack the power and the strength of will.
Do you know why? Tell me!
Come to the palace. Join us.
Reverie? Thank goodness, we...
Step forth and take your share.
You made it.
Not you too.
Hatred or grief, despair, desire. We all have our own.
Rerir.
Lindis?
Were you daydreaming? You still remember, Rerir? That question you asked me a couple of weeks ago?
Oh. You mean the proposal?
Yeah. I'm wondering, where do you think would be a good place to discuss it? Maybe in the garden? Or were you thinking a fancy restaurant?
It's your choice. I will find you. And then, you can give me your answer.
So that's how the Raker of Solnari was born. A monster created by circumstance is a monster. Viewing other people's thoughts for too long can get uncomfortable. Right now, in a nutshell. The story of Conria is what happens when the truth falls by the wayside. Everyone tells little white lies, and before long, you have a huge pack of lies that His past is filled with sorrow. But the tale of any fallen civilization is one of endless tragedy. Cruel as it may be, that was... Everyone, I'm back. Can I get a standing ovation?